Welcome to GrEAt. I'm David Gambino, and this is Coach Eric Brownfield.
That's me.
And we are happy to be with you guys. This is going to be our food review show, starting in the greater Gonzales and Baton Rouge area and expanding out from there. You know, Coach Brownfield, we both like to pretend, at least, or think that we are culinary experts, right?
Yes.
So
yes.
What's your background in the culinary arts?
Well, I've been eating for 42 years.
I'm 34.
And I've been eating quite a bit, probably more than I should have. Sometimes less, sometimes more. But I have traveled the country eating, and I love to not only eat but to like critique in a good way, in a positive way, a constructive way. So I like to try new things, new foods. So it's definitely something that I've always enjoyed doing, trying new stuff and comparing it to other stuff like it. You know, so
Definitely.
Yeah, it's just something that's always been a passion of mine.
Absolutely. My parents owned a restaurant for 30 years.
Oh, wow.
And so I've been in and around food for, I'm 34. You know, it was only a few years ago that they retired from it, and they're honestly still involved with it.
Kind of thing you don't get out of, right?
Exactly. Not to mention, I'm a gigging musician too, so I go to tons of weddings, get to experience tons of food, and I love cooking. I love eating, clearly.
I want to put these headphones on here, Gambino, so I can hear I want to hear your...
Hear my dulcet chewing.
There it is. Okay, I wanted to hear that process to get that little bit more... There's a little more sparkle in there for you.
Throw mine on as well.
Yeah, that was, man.
There we go.
Yeah.
All right,
wow.
So as you can see behind us, we had to start local. You know, we're both teachers here at EA. Everybody sneaks out on their, not sneaks out, but leaves with permission.
Yeah, Google Form.
Google Form on our lunch break to go to Mike's Poboys. So the way the format of our show is going to be is we're going to talk about different aspects. We're going to start with probably the sides. You know, what are the popular sides? What are the popular things that go with accompany your food? We'll do two of those. Then we'll move on to two entrees. Now, one of these you can kind of – some people view it as a side, but we're going to view it as an entree today. And then we'll talk about some of the ancillary things like how's their fountain drinks? What comes in the bag? What's the ambiance and the atmosphere like? And what are the restaurants like themselves? So let's start off with Mike's. What are their popular menu items on the sides? Their egg rolls and their French fries. Okay? So we're going to taste and then we're going to talk and move from there.
All right, so we're going to go to our second view here so you can get a little better view of these here. Let's see. There we go there. So those fries. This is a large order here, and it is massive. Absolutely massive. So, fries, it's important. You don't want to keep them in this container too long,
Yeah.
So as soon as I got here, open it up. Let them breathe.
Well, there's the nice thing about it. If you're a person that likes a little bit soggier of a fry, you can leave it in the clamshell a little bit longer, and they're pretty hot and fresh when they get to you. I've never not had fresh Mike's. And there's another factor, right? Mike's is always fresh. Like they're always cooking it to order. I've never really encountered any bad Mike's, at least in my experience.
No.
So good consistency to the fry. There's a good fry on them. You can get a little bit of crisp. I don't know if you heard that, but the one thing that's a little lacking for me is salt content.
I was just going to say that. And you know what? I prefer that.
Okay.
Because you can always add your own.
True.
But you can't take it off.
You can't take it off.
You can, but that's another episode. That's a whole episode.
Yeah, this is a classic Cisco fry. These are the fries that my parents use. They actually use the same burgers and fries, and so it's kind of a nostalgia trip for me.
Sure,
somewhat, but a really solid. We haven't decided on like a tier ranking or anything, but like definitely like a B if we're going. Solid to upper. Like you can count on these. They're not going anywhere. They taste great. Like you said, you can add salt, you can add pepper, cover these things in ketchup, and they're delicious.
You're not coming here for the fries.
Yeah.
So, like that, and I think B is perfect and B is probably where you want to be because you're not coming here for the fries. They're not a must-have, if you're going to Mike's. I'm always going to get them because I love French fries. Yeah. But if you don't love French fries, you could give them or take them, right? But they are very solidly done. And I love the lack of salt. Now, I say lack of salt. It's just not as salted as you're used to getting fries in places.
Yes.
And I like that because it gives you that flexibility. Because I don't like a lot of salt, and I want to put just my amount.
Yeah.
Which, like I said, a lot of places fries are already salty, and there's nothing you can do about it.
And the ketchup that they have, both in the packet and in the bottle, is salty, and so it really adds a nice flavor. And I don't know if you watch any of Joshua Weissman's stuff on YouTube. He's a great food review critic and chef
Gotta
himself.
check that out.
Yeah, he's great. He's very intentional about how he reviews things. One of the things that he does, though, is like he'll go to a chicken restaurant and just try the chicken, but not any of the additional stuff. So, like, he goes to Cane's, and he scored Cane's really poorly because he didn't do it with the sauce. And I get that.
Yeah.
Like, I totally get and respect that, but we want the whole atmosphere here at GrEAt Eats. So you got to try it with the ketchup. If it comes with the sauce, you got to try it with the sauce. That's how it was intended. You know, Mike's owners intended it to be served this way, who, by the way, are fantastic people.
Incredible.
All right, so one of the cool things about Mike's is they don't only have po' boys, they have Asian food too. Specifically, egg rolls we're going to start with.
Yes, indeed. And they don't do too much, right? They're not going into like a full Asian menu. You're not going to get your full Chinese takeout menu here, but you're going to get your staples, your egg rolls, your fried rice.
Yep.
And that's, I mean, I think everybody gets that when they order Chinese.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, listen, hear the
You
crunch.
can hear that crunch.
Yeah. Look at that. Great job, Rode, there on the pod mic there for that excellent mukbang mic.
Man,
Wow. Yeah, that's solid.
it's so good. Like, it's a crispy crust on the outside. Tons of flavor, lots of cabbage and carrot and pork on the inside. Full of flavor, as Uncle Roger would say. Fuyo! Full of flavor.
And I like, you know what I like about egg rolls is I like that nice golden color on there. But then if you look at the end, you're going to get a little burn there on the end. You're going to get a little scorch on the end there, and that's I find the best egg rolls are the ones that have that.
You got to toe that line, right? You want like the brown or golden outside. So you get that crunch, but there's a little bit of doughiness to it. But you don't want to go too hard because then it's overdone. It's really brittle. It like you bite into it and it's just so like too crunchy. And then the inside tastes very flat after that because all you taste is that burnt oil.
Right. And what I love about this also is you have a good fry on it, but it's not overly greasy. Just like the fries. Good fry on it. Definitely can taste fried flavor, but not overly greasy.
Well, that's the next thing I was going to say, too, is especially for, and no offense, Mike's, we love you, the dive that Mike's is a whole little hole-in-the-wall restaurant, there's no poor grease taste in this.
No.
There's no bitterness.
No.
There's no, like, it's not overly greasy. Like, they have to be changing their oil every day. They have to be pulling their egg rolls and their fries immediately, draining them appropriately, probably putting them into a metal pan with paper towels, to soak up some of that grease. And, like, that goes a long way. I love greasy food, too. But I taste the flavor, not the grease of the whole thing.
Right. Excellent. That's the way fried food should be.
Like, I don't want to stop eating it. Like, I have to take another bite.
Right.
Like,
and look at this napkin here. Your napkin there, you've got minimal grease.
There you go.
That's that. You want a little bit, right? I mean, you get a little worried if
let's get it
there's
up
nothing
on
there.
On our close up.
Yeah, let's get a little. Let's see here. Yeah, look at that. That's what you're looking for. You want to know it was fried, but you don't want to be in the fryer with it.
So, I think on the sides category, they're knocking it out the park.
Terrific. I never get Mike's without getting both of these things.
Absolutely. I was in there once getting lunch for me and Charles, the head band director here at EA, and I ordered. We both got combo fried rices, and she goes, "You want egg roll?" And I was like, you want egg roll." She's like, "He gonna be mad at you if you don't have egg roll." All right, let's get egg roll. I was like,
and she shouldn't have had to take it that far.
No, for real.
That was all your fault.
It absolutely was. All right, well, let's take a quick hydration break. We're both coaches and talk about Mike's fountain drinks as our little bonus round. Fountain drink for me, like, you got to have a good fountain drink. Like, it's the difference between where I'm going to go sometimes. Like, I love a good Diet Coke. I love a good Sprite. Like McDonald's has one of my favorite Diet Cokes. Yes. Burger King's got my favorite Dr. Pepper, but we'll get into those another day. So I've got a Sprite today. Coach Brownfield, what you drink?
Diet Coke, my favorite fountain drink.
What you think? What's your first?
It's terrific. It's plenty of fizz, which is a must for me. I love the carbonation.
Yeah.
And you've got no flatness to it at all. Nice, not overly sweet, especially Diet Coke can sometimes taste that like kind of chemically over sweet.
Yep.
And you don't get that there. It's a great syrup. That's a great mix. And and people would say, well, it's Diet Coke. Who cares? But you're not drinking this out of a can. This is not coming from the factory. So every place does this a little differently. And I know being in the restaurant industry, your family could tell you, like, you're going to make some decisions there about, how much syrup, and your ratio and all that. Mike's is a very solid one. So if you like Diet Coke and you like fountain drinks, you're never going to be taken wrong there at Mike's.
That's awesome. I'm drinking a Sprite today, and there's different things that I want from every soft drink. For Dr. Pepper and for Sprite, like, I want a lot of syrup. For Coke and Diet Coke, I kind of want to go a little bit more to the soda water aspect of it. And Mike's delivers on this. Like, if you like a less carbonated, syrupy, sweet Sprite, that's what you're going to get. It's still got the fizz to it. It's still got a little bit of that. It's got a very clean, refreshing taste, but it's also a treat to enjoy.
I've never thought about this before, but I'm the exact same way on that. Sprite and Dr. Pepper, I anticipate a heaviness to it,
sweet,
like a little more viscosity to it, a little more like oil than water, and Coke and Diet Coke, I don't, and I guess I've never really analyzed that before, but that when you said that really struck me, and it's very true, because if I ever get a Sprite, I'm expecting that. When I don't get that, I'm instantly disappointed. Yeah. So, I'm thank you for enlightening me on that.
Look, there we go.
Learn something about myself.
That's why we're doing this podcast together.
Yeah.
And as you can see, speaking of podcast together, I've got my Thanksgiving attire on. We're playing a game today. Coach Brownfield, do you have a turkey in your pocket?
I do not.
I got several stolen from me. So for those of you watching this after the fact, it's the day before Thanksgiving break, and we are playing a faculty game where a bunch of people have turkeys and little paper turkeys in their pocket. So after we're done with lunch, I'm going to go try to find some.
I still haven't seen one.
I've seen two. I've had two in my possession. I got one from Miss Tejada, and then I got one from Miss Guthrie, and then Miss Gravois, Peyton Gravois stole it from me, and so did Q. Q got one from me.
Yeah, I have not seen one yet. I don't think I'm going to see one at this point.
All right, now on to the star of the show, the entrees. This is probably what, if we come up with a point system for this eventually, is going to carry the most weight. It's what keeps you... It's what gets you in the mood for something. You want to go to the restaurant for the entree. It's the sides and the drinks, which so far from Mike's are knocking it out the park, is what keep you there. What's going to get you there? So what we decided to go with today, we had, Mike's is very well known for being a po' boy shop. So we had to get a po' boy. We got one of Coach Brownfield's favorites, and then we had to get my favorite, combo fried rice. And Coach Brownfield's opened that up right now. I'm going to work on our po' boy. With first, as he's opened that up, classic butcher paper.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It's even got the rubber band on it. And I will say, I know that Mike's uses Leidenheimer French bread.
Yes, they
and
do.
I may be biased. I don't think I am. Leidenheimer is the best French bread in the New Orleans area.
Better than Gambino's?
Better than Gambino's.
Oh, my goodness.
Better than Gambino's.
The best part about the butcher paper is it's its own plate.
Yes, it is.
That's the best part about it. Your plate's already there. Your plate is holding your sandwich.
All right. So we're going to start with Mike's fried rice. And the combo fried rice comes with pork, shrimp. It's got, no, it doesn't have chicken. So it's shrimp, carrots, onions, pork, and it's that great roasted pork.
Oh, yeah, that dark red. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's just almost like a tandoori chicken in an Indian restaurant.
And look at some of the sizes of the meat that you get in there. And it's got peas in it as well.
Love the peas, man. I'm a huge fan of green peas. Huge fan.
Me too. There's a guy in there cooking it all the time. Like I swear it's this one guy who cooks it all the time, and it's always incredible. And I love that it's a family affair too over at Mike's.
Oh yeah,
You know, whether they're actually in the family or just, you know, it's the same people that have been working there for a long time, as far as I know. You know. So all right, let's take a bite.
Oh man,
I can't help but smile. Like,
it's always the same flavor. I mean, the consistency is
literally
incredible.
the same flavor. And there's maybe not traditionally in fried rice a sweetness to it. Like, you get some sweet in fried rice for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But there's this sweetness to it, tons of umami and saltiness.
And the rice is cooked perfectly, every grain to itself. It's not mushy. It's not crunchy. And of course, in Gonzales, you know, and jambalaya will come much later for us. But
Yes.
you know, that's a critical thing. And you know that, man, it's high quality technique here.
So another thing that's a big factor for me, and maybe Coach Brownfield knew this or not before I told him this, before we started this, I have certain allergies, and I'm sensitive to certain things, plus or minus a little bit. Wheat and dairy are big triggers for me. It's not terrible. I won't bore you with my medical history, but Mike's fried rice and their po' boys are something I don't care what my allergies are. I will eat them. Not worried about anything else. So in the future, when we're looking at other restaurants, if they have gluten-free, dairy-free options, they might get a little bonus points from me. You know, they might be like, "Oh, mate, this is a great option for me to consider, and for those with sensitivities to consider." But if you have a sensitivity, ignore it and eat this fried rice because it is delicious.
Sometimes it's just worth it. Mm-hmm. You know, sometimes it's just worth it. I mean, don't go into anaphylactic shock. It's okay. It's great. It's great fried rice, but please don't go to the emergency room for this.
Do not listen to me. We are not responsible for any liabilities that.
No. Yes, we are EATV or East Central High School.
Does not reflect the opinions of David J. Gambino.
This is strictly our personal opinions here. But no, yeah, please, seriously, don't. You don't have to pull out an EpiPen. We're never going to say, look, it's worth the EpiPen, right?
No.
If it is, we haven't found it yet.
Yeah, for real.
I haven't eaten it yet.
No, it is delicious. Again, my allergies are mild. Don't worry about me. It is absolutely delicious. It's full flavored too. Like, it's not just one note. Like, I talked about that sweetness that gets you at the front, but sitting here for a second, letting it just develop. Like, there's that richness, that, you know, umami, the savoriness that's still sitting there, and it doesn't turn sour.
No,
it doesn't get unpleasant at any point.
And I must say this: I'm an onion aficionado, and I never pay attention to how much onion to put in a recipe. I just put however much I want. Which is always more than what they say.
Same thing with garlic.
And yes, and the onion is just perfect. It is perfectly cooked. It's translucent.
You get the little burn spots on it.
You get a little bit of scorch on there. You get that shine, that translucent shine, but it's not. It's not crunchy raw. You know, look at that.
Look at this little guy.
Look at that. Let's get that on the screen there. And that's perfect. That's exactly what you want. A little bit of sweetness in that onion too. There, you know, you get a little bit of that.
I wonder what if they're using just yellow onion or something, a different variety.
Very well could be a different variety. Very mild, but definitely adds to it. I just love that. There's nothing like getting a nice chunk of onion in that fried rice.
For sure. Coach Brownfield, you want to talk to us about your favorite po' boy over here?
Yeah, I do. I really do. So this is, let's see here if we can kind of rearrange and make this the star of the show here. We'll slide that into position, and then we'll give you guys a look at this. So my favorite po' boy at Mike's, and you know, I've never seen a bad po' boy at Mike's.
For real.
But my favorite is the grilled shrimp. Excuse me, grilled chicken. It used to be grilled shrimp. So I've gotten to where I don't eat shrimp anymore, or I eat very little shrimp.
Yeah.
And like the egg roll, okay, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
The fried rice, I'll probably just pick around the shrimp. But so if you want mine before you go, you know.
Sweet.
So grilled chicken, fully dressed. I've never ordered a po' boy not fully dressed.
So most of us know what it is, but fully dressed usually means lettuce, tomato, pickle, mayo. Some people do onion. Like there's a few little variations,
Right.
But if you say fully dressed, you're at least getting lettuce, tomato, pickle, and mayo.
100%. And I don't know why you wouldn't want all 4, unless you have a deadly mayonnaise allergy or something. And if you do, God bless you.
Yes.
Because that's just oil and eggs, so that you'd be in real trouble. All right, you wouldn't be watching this podcast right now. So this is grilled chicken. This is what I'm going to show you under the hood here. Let's see. So you got a nice dressing there. You got a good amount of shredded lettuce. Love the shredded lettuce. Nice, generous mayo, but not over the top crazy mayo. Okay, they're not painting a house with it here. Tomato, good, solid. These are, I mean, for late November, these look very, very good. Mm-hmm. They're not mealy. The pickles, just your standard ridged, like rippled. What do you call it there? Your rippled hamburger chip. Absolutely terrific. And then the pepper jack cheese, I love it.
As much as you like it, I'm going to pick mine off at least that front part. Here, look, you can have mine.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Excellent. So, I mean, you're looking at a great po' boy profile here. I mean, this is what you want. Okay. Oh yeah,
if you don't get crunch,
that, oh yeah, you got to have that.
I'd like a little bit more to that crunch. And I'm gonna be very honest. I'm wondering if they ran out of po' boy bread. This does not look like Leidenheimer. It might. Once I taste it might be. That's how it shows you how experienced I am with Leidenheimer po' boy bread.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, Leidenheimer is absolutely terrific. Mm-hmm. And you can find it in some grocery stores.
You can. I think Rouse has started carrying it more recently. Let's see.
Oh man, nice crunch there on the bite. Let's see here.
And look, that happens a lot. Running out of po' boy bread, that means you're doing good business.
Absolutely.
So on my first bite, I did not get enough chicken. So I'm going to see if my next bite has a little bit more.
I didn't either. I think it's kind of, I'm seeing some like bouncing out of the back here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's definitely plenty of chicken on here. That first bite was chickenless. Go back in there.
Still a very good sandwich. I really appreciate that it's not just a slab of chicken breast.
Yes.
That they cut it.
It is like a tenderloin. Yeah, not unlike Cane's, really. It kind of reminds me of like a Cane's, that feel of a Cane's chicken finger,
Like, as much as I like a good chicken breast, like, in my opinion, there's no place for a solid chicken breast on a sandwich.
No. No, you got to go with the filleted. You get it in half. I'm thinking about walk-ons. Walk-ons buffalo chicken sandwiches. An insane amount of chicken. But what they do is they take one chicken breast, they fillet it lengthwise, and you get 2 thin chicken breasts, and they kind of stack them in a perpendicular. And that, I think that's an incredible presentation. And it's fine because what I usually do sometimes I'll take one of them off and just eat it on the side. But yeah, the thick chicken is hard. It's just any kind of thicker cut of meat on a sandwich is very hard to deal with.
No, I was trying to hold it, but I couldn't. Right on the sides of my mouth, and this is a very New Orleans thing of me. I had like mayo and pickle and tomato residue right here, and I've had that every bite. That's the sign of a good sandwich. When you got juices flowing, and you, like we always say with roast beef po' boy, it's not judged by how it looks or even how it tastes. It's how many napkins you use.
Yes.
That tells you if it's a good roast beef po' boy.
There you go. My goodness. Yes. So it's a great, so like, what will we call that index there? Is that the corner of the mouth index? What do we call that? We got to get a name for that.
We got to come up with that. Yeah, so all of our people get in the comments, come up with a name for like how many napkins it takes to get through a sandwich, and we'll give it an index number.
Yeah. That's terrific. But it's not. You can go over, right? There's a sweet spot, but it's just as bad to go over as it is to go under, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Now maybe not with roast beef because the gravy. I mean, you're kind of expecting a mess there.
Yeah.
But, grilled chicken po' boy, I'm not expecting to have to get a mop to clean up.
Correct. And so it's almost like the roast beef one needs to be like scaled differently than everybody else. But you still should be, a moist sandwich with juices, and you're using multiple napkins to wipe, but not being overly encumbered.
Absolutely. Very, very well said. Very well said.
You. So I like all the elements of the sandwich. I'm I'm not quite as thrilled as I want to be with it. It's delicious. I love it. But like if I were to compare it to the fried rice, it's not quite living up to that same level for me, at least.
Yeah.
But like the tomatoes are good, the pickles are good, the lettuce is good, the chicken is good. I could maybe use a little bit more salt on the chicken. Excuse me. But for you low sodium cats out there, like it's a great option. It's relatively healthy. You know, it's a little heavy on carbs, but po' boy bread is kind of lighter in general because it's porous.
Much airier. Yeah, much airier.
So I wouldn't. So for me, it's not a situation where the sum of the whole is greater than the parts. It's about like what I would expect. It's good chicken, good pickles, good tomato, good lettuce, good bread, good sandwich. You know, it's kind of where I'm at with it.
You can't get a bad sandwich with all good ingredients, right?
Exactly.
And this is grilled. You know, they say grilled chicken. Don't expect like a charcoal, flame grilled thing here. This is on a griddle. It's a flat top. Mm-hmm. You know, you can definitely get that flat top sort of feel out of that.
Which I just got my very own Blackstone griddle. So Blackstone, not a sponsor, but if you want to be.
I've had a 22-inch tabletop portable one there for a while now. It's terrific. You can really get some great Maillard reaction there is what they call it, right?
Yep,
when you start to get that char
sure.
on there, This doesn't really have char. It's not really to that point, but it is you definitely get that flavor, that flat top flavor, which is very nice.
So to kind of wrap up today, Mike's is a staple in this area. Nothing that we had today, from the rice to the fries to the egg roll to the sandwich, was bad. Even the drinks were bad. Everything was delicious. We got a bag here that's full of extra condiments. Soy sauce and ketchup and plenty of napkins.
You get the iconic plastic bag over the paper bag.
Yep.
That's that when you're around here, you went to Mike's when you see that.
For sure.
Love that.
So, Mike's, we want to thank you so much for providing just absolutely fantastic food and being our first of many on Great Eats. So, Coach Brownfield and myself, thank you so much. Get to eating.
That's right. Eat up.